What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stages of your life. Family, we have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up emotionally. Who's in your ear? Who's in your ear? Who are you listening to? Who's really guiding you? Who's quote unquote teaching you? Who's lacing you up? See, one of the things that we struggle with is that we're listening to the wrong people. We're plugged into the wrong people. And because they're family, they're your daddy, your mama, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your siblings, you know what I mean, your aunties, and all these other toxic people who haven't healed. You know what I mean? We think, oh, they got this title, man, they know da-da-da. And sometimes you can listen to people. Stay with me, we're going somewhere. The question is, who are you listening to? And why are you listening to them? Why are you listening to them? See, so many of us, we get caught up into, man, this is a preacher, this is a teacher, this is a man of God, because we gave them that title. Or they gave themselves that title. They've gone to school, they've gotten a quote unquote training from the school, from the seminary, from the theology courses that they took. And now they get the certificate, this diploma saying that they graduated and that they're certified, you know what I mean? That they're validated. And we take it as, man, this is the gospel. We take it as, man, this person won't lead me astray. And we take what they're saying and we take it as the gospel, when in reality, that person's leading you astray. That person's leading you down the wrong path. They're really not helping you. The reality, they're messing you up. So many of us, we listen to the news, you know what I mean? We get so caught up into politics. We get so caught up into, religion. And we automatically assume that, man, this is a man of God, this is a woman of God, this is a spiritual being, they're da-da-da-da, they got all these followers, or whatever the case may be. And we get so caught up into the person that we can't hear God talk to us. The great majority of us have no clue when God is speaking to us, when the universe is speaking to us. Because we think we got it all figured out already. And we don't want to hear what God, universe, is saying to us, because it goes against our plans. It goes against what we want. And so we automatically tune out that message. We automatically tune out what God is saying. God is telling you not to hook up with this person. God is telling you not to do. But you want to do it. You've already made up your mind that you're going to do it. You know what you're going to wear, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. You got everything already figured out. And the whole time, God is telling you no. But you're not trying to hear that. And so you automatically assume that when things ain't working out for you, that God is, that's the devil. You automatically assume that these people are haters. These people just don't want you to have fun. These people don't want you to live your best life because they're telling you something that you don't want to hear. And God may be using that person to keep you alive. God may be using that person to help you not make a whole bunch of tragic mistakes in your life. But you don't want to hear that because you want to go turn up. You don't want to hear that because you're looking at this woman and, man, she got a bad body. And you think about, man, what I'm going to do with that? You looking at this dude and it's like, oh man, look at his body, look at his six pack, look at his pecs, look at his arms, and man, look how strong his legs are, and and all this other foolishness. And you think that, man, this guy really likes me. This guy's really into me. And all that dude want to do is just hit it. He don't give two fucks about you as a person. He don't give two fucks about your goals, your career. He don't give two fucks about your future, your well-being, your emotional maturity, or your emotional being. He don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. All he's focused on is, man, I want to hit this. And so he's going to tell you what you want to hear. The question is, what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? See, we've been programmed to listen to our family. We've been programmed to listen to the elderly. We've been programmed to listen to our grandma, our grandpa, not even understanding or taking into consideration. Wait a minute, time out. Why am I listening to this person? Am I listening to this person just because they're a lot older than me? Is what they're saying lining up with what God is telling me? Or are they just telling me a whole bunch of stuff that I just don't want to hear? They're old-fashioned. They don't know what's up. They ain't with the times. I ain't on that time that they on. They ain't on my time. You know what I mean? And we got all this stuff that we're thinking and saying to ourselves to do what we want to do. Not even considering the fact that, wait a minute, did God put this person in my life to guide me, to help me down the right path? Or is this person in my life as a distraction to keep me on this toxic frequency, to keep me on this low vibration, to keep me filled with this self-hatred, to keep me filled with this low self-esteem? So we get so caught up, especially the young people, we get so caught up into, man, these people are hyping me up. These are my boys. These are my girls. Man, they got my back and da-da-da-da. And they just want me to be happy. And I'm out here dressed like a fucking hoe. I look like a hoe from the top of my head to my feet and da-da-da-da. And I'm out here showing my ass. I'm out here twerking. I'm out here grinding. I'm out here doing whatever the fuck I want to when I want to. And as long as people are telling me, girl, you look good as fucking, girl, you doing your thing. And man, da-da-da. And boy, you doing your thing. And da-da-da. And as long as people are hyping me up, telling me this stupid shit, they're quote unquote encouraging me. That's my real team. Because they're feeding into that stupid shit that you want to do. They're feeding into all of that low vibration shit that you really want to do. And so you can't really hear a real man of God. And I'm not talking about a man of God because he's sitting there quoting fucking scriptures to you. That don't make him a man of God. I'm not talking about some old lady who's dressed like a fucking nun. And she's telling you a whole bunch of stuff. And you looking at her like you an old prune and you ain't got this and you telling me this because you ain't got no man and da-da-da-da and you just don't want me to be happy and you can't do what I do and you just mad because you don't look this fucking good and you pass your fucking prime and da-da-da-da and all this other disrespectful shit. Who are you listening to? Why are you listening to them? Are they really challenging you to be the best version of yourself? Or are they encouraging you to continue on that toxic fucking path that you're on? That self-destructive path that you're on? See, we don't really know who our friends are. We don't really know who really has our back. And a lot of times, a lot of us, we got people in our ear telling us a whole bunch of stupid shit, and they ain't really got your back. They really don't want you to be happy. They really don't want you to be successful. They really don't want you to be healed because they're not healed. But you dismiss that and say they're haters. You dismiss that and say they're jealous, they're envious. When the reality is they may truly be trying to spit some real wisdom and knowledge to you. They may really be trying to tell you what God is trying to show you in life, but you don't want to hear that. You don't want to embrace that as truth. And, oh, that's their truth, and that's not my truth. And my truth says I could do woo-doo-doop, and my truth says I could da-da-da. And okay, yeah, you're entitled to live however the fuck you want to. You're entitled to do whatever the fuck you want to. But you cannot control the consequences. You cannot control the results of your fucking actions. And God is telling you, because God knows the results of what the fuck is going to happen to you if you stay on this fucking path. And so although that person may not know the results of what's going to happen to you, God is telling them, man, tell this little nappy head motherfucker, pull up his motherfucking pants. God is telling this motherfucker to tell you, man, girl, you ain't got to dress like that. You ain't got to dress like no fucking hoe. You ain't got to show these guys everything you got. You say you want a man, but if you really want a man, you shouldn't dress like that, baby girl. You ain't got to dress like that. Dressing like that is not gonna get you no man. It's gonna get you a bunch of dudes that wanna fuck you and use you up. But it won't get you a fucking man. But that goes against our ego. That goes against what we think we know. And so we can't accept that. We won't accept that. Because we just live in our life. We could fuck and suck whoever we want to. And think that, man, there ain't gonna be no fucking consequence. As long as I don't get no baby, as long as I don't get no AIDS or herpes or gonorrhea or syphilis or any of these other things, I'm good. This ain't affecting me. This ain't hurting me. I'm not hurting anybody, and that's bullshit. But we don't want to hear that. We don't want to understand that. Because we want to do what the fuck we want to do. Who are you listening to? Why are you listening to them? The life that they have, is that really the life that you want? When you really sit back and look at their life, do they have joy? Do they have peace? Or do they have the superficial peace? Do they have the superficial joy? Do they have this fake happiness? If that's what you want, then keep doing what the fuck they doing. We gotta grow up. And that's hard. That's hard. You have so many women out there that's misleading a lot of these young women. You have so many dudes out there that's misleading a lot of these young dudes. And they're misleading them down a path of self-destruction. They're leading them down a path of loneliness, of misery. But the shit sound good. It sound real good until you look at their life. It sounds real good until you walk down that fucking path and you realize once you get to the end of that fucking journey that this ain't what you really wanted at all. And now you got to turn around and walk all the way back up that same fucking path to get on the right fucking path. We got to grow up. Why are you listening to all these people that's giving you all this toxic shit? Why are you listening to all these people who filling you with lies and bullshit? Why are you listening to all these people with all this negativity, this gossip, this drama? How come you can't hear God? How come you won't listen to God? And I get it, you know, things don't go the way we want to go, and man, we give up on God, and man, God ain't got my back, and fuck God, and whoop whoop whoop, and God don't really fuck with me like that. It's like I'm not fucking with God like that. And what we're saying is religion has fucked us up, not God. But because we don't know who God is, we take religion as God. We take these people, these twisted, hurt people who haven't healed, who have motives for what the fuck they're doing. And a lot of times people are telling you shit because they get something out of it. Not you. What you get out of it is more pain and suffering. What you get out of it is more fucking misery. We got to grow up emotionally. And we have to get to a place where, okay, you know what? I'm going to exclude all the bullshit. I'm going to block out all the fucking noise. And I'm going to go into a place to where it's just me and God, just me and universe, just me and source. And I got to understand, okay, source has always had my back. God has always had my back, even when he didn't give me what I wanted. Even when universe didn't allow me to do what the fuck I wanted to do, universe was really looking out for me. Universe was really protecting me. Why are you listening to these people? Man, how come you're not listening to God? How come you don't know the voice of God? And see, here's the trip. When God is talking to us, there's not a certain feeling you get all the time. It doesn't sound the same way all the time. It doesn't come across the same way all the time. Why? Because God doesn't want you to get stuck in the delivery. God doesn't want you to get stuck in the messenger. God wants you to establish a healthy relationship with God, with the universe, with source. And you can only do that by being intimate with it, God, universal source. You know what I mean? You can only have that type of relationship. Again, I'm not talking about fucking church. I'm not talking about picking up your fucking Bible and memorizing a bunch of scriptures. I'm talking about having an intimate relationship with God. Because when I have an intimate relationship with God, I understand who the fuck I am and why I'm here. I understand the situations that I'm in. I understand why I'm going through what I'm going through. And I'm able to learn from it and grow through it. Because God is talking to me. And it's like, okay, Elijah, this is why you're going through. This is why you went through that. And so you're getting all this knowledge and wisdom and understanding to help you become the best version of you. But we don't spend time with God like that. We run to God when we want some shit. And when the shit don't happen the way we think it should happen, then, oh, God wasn't looking out for me. That's not God. That's my ops. That's the enemy. That's the devil. God doesn't want me to have fun. And I get it. I grew up thinking that. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, you were looking at the old people in the church. You were looking at the elders in the church. And you were looking at the fact, there ain't no real young people in the church. And the young people leave the church to go, quote unquote, have fun. And then when they get worn the fuck out and they get exhausted of being out in the fucking streets and ran through, then they want to run back to the fucking church and try to live this wholesome life. And they get miserable because they understand, damn, I went out there into the streets and I got ran through, got dogged the fuck out and all this other crazy toxic shit. And now I'm in the church and I'm still miserable. I'm still lonely. I'm still frustrated. I'm still toxic. I'm still bitter. I'm still angry. And I still don't know who the fuck I am and why I'm here. I got all this education, I got all this money, and I don't know who the fuck I am. I know all this shit that I've studied in school, but I don't know who the fuck I am. And I don't know who God is. And I don't know when God is talking to me. And so I keep making stupid ass decisions and choices because I won't grow the fuck up emotionally and get in alignment with God. I have a relationship with everything else. I got a relationship with my cats, with my dogs, and I got relationships with all these people. But I don't have a real relationship with me. I don't have a real relationship with God. I got a relationship with my job. I got a relationship with my money. I got a relationship with this woman. I got a relationship with this dude. But I don't have a real relationship with me. I don't even know me. Nor do I know who God is. And I keep listening to all these motherfuckers who don't know who God is. I keep listening to all these motherfuckers who ain't got a real healthy relationship with themselves or with God. And the truth is, when you have a real relationship with God, you cut off a lot of people in your life. When you have a real intimate relationship with God, there's not a lot of people in your circle. And it's not that you're a bad person. It's not that you're not a fun person. You just got to a place of, man, I ain't got time for the foolishness. I ain't got time for the games. People don't have to like me. People don't have to validate me. I'm good with God. I've been approved by God. I don't need man's approval. I don't need a woman's approval. I don't need anybody else's validation. Oh, you're a good guy. You're a man of God and you're a righteous being. And I don't need people to say that shit about us. Because we know who we are. We know who we listen to. We know who we're connected to. We got to grow up, family. And it's not an easy thing to do. I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to even challenge your way of thinking. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Happy healing, family. Peace.